Hello students, today I am going to teach lesson 5 Traders to Rulers. This is the first lesson of the second term. As you know that first term syllabus is over, so I am going to start the second term syllabus from lesson 5 Traders to Rulers. In this lesson you will learn about how the British and the French started coming to India, and slowly from traders they started ruling India. The British Empire established in India during the second half of the 18th century. It was not the British because of which the India was ruled by them, but it is the Indians that they were able to rule over India. So there was many reason why they were able to rule over a large territory of India. These factors are divided into two parts, that is the internal situations and the external situations. In internal situations, there are certain points which you have to remember. First point is the decline of central authority. After the death of Aurangzeb, there was no any Mughal emperor or any ruler who were able to rule over a large territory and control the whole India. So that's why the kingdoms were divided into smaller kingdoms, and they always fought amongst each other. The second point is lack of unity and constant rivalries. As the regional kingdoms wanted to stretch their kingdom, wanted to increase their kingdom, so they always fought amongst each other so that they could acquire the other's kingdom. So there were always fight amongst each other, and they never became friend and fought for the foreigners. Then the third reason was the foreign invasion. As there was constant rivalries among the regional kingdoms, so the foreigners got the chance to come to India. As you know that Nadir Shah and Ahmad Shah Abdali, they were the foreigners who came to India and looted large amount of wealth, jewelries and gold from India. After that, the Britishers also came to India, and they not only looted India, they also ruled over India for more than 200 years. Then the fourth point was lack of a good defense force. As you know that Tipu Sultan of Mysore and the Mir Qasim of Bengal were great generals. They wanted to increase the modern weapons in their army. So they started using modern weapons so that they could fight against the British. But British had more modern weapons than the Indians, so they were able to crushed the region of Mysore and also the Bengal and defeated Tipu Sultan and the Mir Qasim. So because and also British had a large navy, so that's why they were able to capture a large part of India. Then the fifth point was groupism and factionalism. So the groupism, factionalism, corruption, this prevailed during this time. There was no any patriotism and loyalty towards the king or the kingdom. Sometimes the nobles or the ministers they also helped the foreigners to rule over India or they rule over their own kingdom. The suitable example is the commander in chief of Sirajuddaulah, Mir Jafar, who helped the Britishers who did not turn up with his armies in the Battle of Plassey, and he was defeated. The Sirajuddaulah was defeated by the British army, and in this way the British they were able to capture Bengal. So there are many examples in which the nobles, because of their greed, they helped the foreigners in invading their territories. Then there were external situations in which there was industrialization and the search for new markets. Industrialization refers to the replacement of the handmade tools with the machine made tools. The, the goods made in domestic or the uh, or in the houses were not of a good quality, and also they were costlier, and they took time for changing into the finished product, but the machine made goods were cheaper and they were large in numbers, so there was a great demand of the machine made goods in the market. The new group or the new society was formed due to the industrialization, which was called as capitalism, in which the profit was in the hand of these capitalists and they became rich part of the society. Then search for the new markets. Capitalism and industrialization created huge demand for cheap raw material. The British also required new markets for selling finished goods. So they started searching for the new countries from where they can get the raw materials, and also after making the finished goods they could sell it at a very high profit to the European countries. The making of colonies in the Asia and Africa was called as imperialism. India soon came in the eyes of imperial powers like Britain and France. Advent of the European companies. As the Vasco da Gama, when he came to India in 1498 AD, he took a lot of wealth, spices, indigo, saltpeter, and gold from India. So the Europeans they were attracted towards India, and the rulers of the different countries of Europe, they started sending their merchants to different part of Asia and Africa because it gave them more profit. So they started establishing their colonies in these countries. These centers were called as factories because the officials who reside there were called factors. These factories had offices and godowns. They brought the raw materials from these factories at very low prices and they made it finished goods in Europe and then they sold it to the European countries at very high prices. The companies of Europe, they gave monopoly to the merchants as these merchants were not allowed to interfere in the trade of the other merchants. So they earned a lot of profit and also they gave a share of profit to the king. So the European companies were mostly divided into two: British East India Company and the French East India Company. The British East India Company was established by Queen Elizabeth I. She gave a charter to the British East India Company in 31 December 1600. She gave a monopoly to the East India Company for 15 years. It was a private company run by a board of directors. They took permission from the Jahangir, who was the Mughal emperor at that time, and established factories in Surat and Hooghly, West Bengal. The main traded commodities were cotton, raw silk, sugar, saltpeter, and textile. The French East India Company was mostly a government controlled venture. It depended on the French governor for funding. It set up its settlements at Chandarnagar, Bengal, Mahe, Kerala, Karaikal, and Pondicherry in 1664. Dupleix played a major role in the expansion of French power in India. He was the French Governor General of Pondicherry. Now, the another topic, that is rivalry in trade. So, as you know that there was a lot of profit in trade, so the European countries, they started coming to India for trade so that they could get more and more profit. Before the British could establish their company in India, the Portuguese had already established their company at Pondicherry. In 1498, the Vasco da Gama came to India through the sea route via the Cape of Good Hope. So he took a lot of wealth from India, and this gave the opportunity to the other European countries so that they could trade with India and get a lot of wealth from India. So as the European companies, they started coming to India, there was rivalry among the European companies. Sometimes they fought with each other, sometimes they stopped the sea route of the other rulers or other companies. Sometimes they attack the other ships, sometimes they kill the merchants. So they started keeping armies with them. So all the companies like French East India Company, then the British East India Company, they had a large navy also. But at last, the British East India Company was able to push these companies out of India and started ruling in India for more than 200 years. So, I am going to conclude the topic today, and thank you for watching. And now watch the next video. So, thank you.